Hey guys, how's it going? I'm Combat Craig, and today we're talking about VA disability compensation. Specifically, do you make too much money for VA disability compensation? Before we get started, VA disability compensation is about their medical evidence against your medical evidence. If you need medical evidence, check out my med team. Go to combatcraig.com, contact them, and see if they can help you. I'm guessing they probably can. Also, check out my boot camp at combatcraig.com if you want to talk to me or my team, and we'll see if we can help you on our live sessions. We do those every 2 weeks. All right, so recently I was talking to somebody, and they were concerned about receiving VA disability compensation because their job situation changed and improved. Good, right? Money. Basically, this is where the separation is. You have VA disability compensation. This is compensation for what happened to you back in the day, however long that is. Hopefully, the back in the day factor is you're still on active duty, and it's easier to fight this when you're on active duty or within the 1 year presumptive period after you get out. Farther that time goes on, harder it takes. Took me 27 years to finally pull my head out of my ass. Anyway, that's the way I put it. Hopefully, there's no problems understanding where your head should be versus buried in your ass, especially when it comes to money and finances. So you had things happen to you while you're on active duty. Remember that there's things like for tinnitus or a whole host of things. I was a paratrooper, so I was more prone to back problems, or I was on the flight line, so I was more prone to ear problems. Remember that this is a 24/7, right? 365 days a year, right? Kind of job. So whether this thing, the thing that caused a disability or a problem for you, whether it happened to you while you're actually at work, whatever those work hours were, if you ended up in a combat zone, those work hours changed drastically, or it was your off time and something happened to you. Tinnitus can happen to you. They own everything. When we signed on that dotted line, I don't know if you really paid attention to the details. I was like, yeah. Great. Get me in. I need something. I need to do something different with my life. Didn't sign up to be a hero or anything. Not different than any of you guys. But ended up in the military, ended up with some pretty severe problems as a result of it. So the theory or the concept of now I'm making too much money, I've been pursuing my VA disability compensation, now things are okay over here financially, should I let this go? The answer is no. They're not related at all whatsoever. And in very rare circumstances, the one that comes to mind is TDIU, Total Disability based on individual unemployability. If that's the case and you are being compensated for your service-connected disabilities at the 100% rate, you can run into some problems. But if you are in an environment like this, which would be a protected work environment, there's a loophole for everything, right? You just have to know that you're in a game and have to play the game. So, no. If you are currently thinking that you have a conflict, that's up to you. You're an adult. We were all adults when we signed, remember? But we're adults. We were adults then, totally separated. Whatever happened to you then needs to be addressed, and you need to be compensated for it. We're not talking millions. It can add up to over $1 million in lost compensation in my case. And the longer you wait or whatever, that adds up. But disability compensation is one thing over here that is just to compensate you for the injuries you sustained while on active duty, and or in the case of secondaries, again, secondary claims. I have quite a few videos on that topic. Check out my bootcamp at combatcraig.com. We could talk more about that on my live sessions, and contact my med team. Especially when you're dealing with anything, you need to have a current diagnosis, you need to have a nexus, and you need to have a condition, and the severity of the condition is where that rating comes from. If you don't have somebody representing your side of the story, I don't like the VA representing anything. I don't even go to the VA anymore. I go and submit my private medical stuff, and I'm good. I probably have, 15, maybe 14 more years before I'm protected under the 20-year rule, and then I'm going to go bring some heat. Let me jump in here real quick and tell you about my boot camp. If you want to learn more about the VA claims process, check out my boot camp. You can talk to me live. There's a link on the website and in the description, combatcraig.com. And also, if you need medical evidence like a nexus or documenting your symptoms properly, go to our website, combatcraig.com, and it says medteam/nexus letters. Click on that link, fill out the form, boom, you're done. There's no conflict between what you make now after the service and the money that you potentially stand to make by filing a claim and winning it. That was a different period of time in the past. I've learned a lot about what the past is. If you're not quite up to speed there, it's fine. Things can come, haunt you or, keep affecting you that, happened in the past. And secondaries are disabilities that, compound onto something that happened in the past. So I broke my foot. I got plantar fasciitis. That led to compensation. That was in my left foot. That led to me overcompensating and causing not another broken foot, but plantar fasciitis in my right foot as well. So that's, I put together a secondary claim, thought that would be logical, right foot, overcompensating for left foot, sell it to yourself and then go get a doctor and see if they're on board. Obviously, that's one that isn't a very hard leap. Again, you need a medical professional for this. Your opinion is that of a layman. I'm a layman. We are not doctors. We're not medical professionals. We live with it. We know the pain. We know the problems way more than anybody else, for sure. But you need to have a doctor on board. The answer is no conflict whatsoever. Go ahead, keep filing that claim, stay on it, don't lose your effective dates, don't lose any of that shit. And, if you happen to be making more money now and you're in a better position, that's cool. Guess what happens when you're have mental health problems? You end up like me where you get fired from every single job unless you, kind of created the... So, these things, thinking more forward than right now, you're going to need this at some point in your life. At some point, you're not going to be able to do it because of your service-connected disabilities. Do it. File that claim. Get paid that money. Do as much as you possibly. There's no restrictions. Like I said, the only one that's a little tricky is TDIU, Total Disability based on individual unemployability. But that one's not really that tricky either because that pays out at the 100% rate, and that's tax-free. Thanks for taking some time with me today. I have a few other videos here. Check them out. I have a playlist. You could go through and I talk about all sorts of different things, all sorts of topics, and I slice it and dice it. And every new way I could come up with, it can get repetitive for sure, but repetition is the key to learning. I'll see you in the next video. Let me jump in here real quick and tell you about my boot camp. If you want to learn more about the VA claims process, check out my boot camp. You can talk to me live. There's a link on the website. And in the description, combatcraig.com. And also, if you need medical evidence like a nexus or documenting your symptoms properly, go to our website, combatcraig.com, and it says medteam/nexus letters. Click on that link, fill out the form, boom, you're done.